Every vote counts.
We all have one vote, and it should matter and it should count.
And when you have someone else that's illegally voting, that dilutes my one vote.
When that happens, they're not stealing votes. They're stealing something far more precious, which is the very essence of democracy.
And if you lose the consent of the governed, if elections turn out not the way they should have turned out.
Sunland Park, New Mexico, a city they say that was stolen by voter fraud.
You have a fundamental problem in the democracy.
What does that say about our republic? How then do you find your voice?
What I want is the winner to win. I want it to be elected with honest votes of people. I do not want it stolen.
Because if we don't have confidence that people governing us are there freely and fairly, why are we going to listen to them?
If our elections are not truly fair, we are not truly free.
The voters should be concerned about any elected official who thinks this is not an issue.
There is no statistical proof that vote fraud is a big concern in this country.
Attorney General Eric Holder voted in the D.C. primary, or did he?
Voter fraud hardly ever occurs.
The great fraud is that we have been told that this is a serious problem.
The people who say there's no problem are living in the wrong world. They live in Never Never Land.
It's time we call their bluff.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I've put the evidence up in federal court.
In the last 10 years, there have been prosecutions or convictions of vote fraud in 46 states.
We have examples of election officials all over the country, not just voters, election officials committing voter fraud.
And we found there are a dozen states where they have more people on the voting rolls than actually are eligible to vote. It means they're not taking dead people off, they're not taking people who moved away off.
The Palmetto State's Attorney General saying more than 900 of the voters in the recent elections were actually dead people.
All you need is one election, and you can remake the nation.
Trusting politicians to guard your liberty is like trusting a dog to guard your lunch.
You can't expect government to stop itself.
Shame on us. Shame on us as a nation to let a handful of bureaucrats dictate the future of our country.
We've got to take the responsibility back as citizens to verify that our elections are fair.
It's something that I've never seen before, where people are standing up and saying enough is enough.
This isn't the government coming in and doing something.
We are, by definition, supposed to be. The government, we are supposed to be.
Mainstream Americans who have never been involved in politics.
We've all sort of linked shields and we're walking forward in this movement to ensure that our elections are conducted with honor, with integrity.
We come with one big voice. We come to tell them that the vote will be true.
True to vote is the first line of defense for free and fair elections.
Monitor elections, look for voter fraud, check the voter rolls. All these things that private citizens can do because their government isn't.
Observation changes behavior. This is our opportunity to get out there and to stop this process.
Simply being in the polling place on election day instead of on your couch watching on TV, this makes a huge difference.
True the Vote is a citizen-led effort to ensure free and fair elections for everyone.
It goes beyond race, it goes beyond party, it goes beyond ideology.
Black, white, Latino, it doesn't matter. As long as you care about America and free and fair elections, we want you to get involved.
You just can't show up in November to help protect the elections. You need to start doing it now.
How does one get involved? They just start. You go to truethevote.org and you sign up. It's amazing how often the difference between success and failure is just the reluctance to take that first step. We need to remember that our vote is sacred. People fought and died to give us our vote. Don't think that it can't be taken away. Don't think that it can't be lost. We owe this to our children, to our grandchildren, and all is not lost.